everyone, welcome back to another Know How Friday video. This is part of the Coffee Lovers blog hop, so I will have information down below. I'm starting with this Crafters Workshop stencil, and it's a newer one, and I think it's gorgeous. I love the pattern. So I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock, and I just put my craft mat behind that because I'm going to be using Distress inks. So I'm just placing that where I want it, and I want it to be on half of my card. So I'll go ahead and take some washi tape and just adhere that down into place. And you can see that I also did adhere down the white cardstock onto my craft sheet so that it doesn't move. So the first color I'm starting with is the peacock feathers. It is a nice bright turquoise color. And I know this probably isn't the typical like spring color palette, but I just really like the bright colors, and I need bright colors right now, especially after the long and depressing cold winter, so anything bright and cheerful is good for me. And then I'm taking the Evergreen Bough, which is a little bit of a greener teal color. You'll be able to see the difference. The Peacock Feathers is more turquoisey blue, whereas the Evergreen Bough has a little bit more green to it. And it's the perfect in-between color for the Peacock Feathers and then the Cracked Pistachio, which is my next color. This is the newest Distress ink color. It's a mint green, and it is so gorgeous. And like always, all the supplies I use on this card will be linked below if you are interested in any of them. So I'll just finish inking that up, and then when I'm done I can go ahead and lift my stencil up and we can see this pretty creation that we have. Alright, so I love that color palette. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my image. I use this teacup. We're going to use it as a coffee cup. And they look like tulips to me on there, so those spring flowers. And I stamped that on a piece of Coordination's 110-pound cardstock with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And then I also stamped the plate below it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and color in all of these images. Alright, so after I colored those in, I went ahead and fussy cut them out. Now I want my teacup to look like it is sitting in the plate, so I'm just taking an X-Acto knife and cutting right along the edge so that I can slip it right in there. I did try to mask parts of this so it would be one image, and I could not figure it out. It was not working. So this is the easiest way for me to make it look like the teacup is sitting on the plate. So then I slid it in there, and then I'm just going to tape it on the back so that it doesn't fall apart. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start assembling our card. I have a white A2 size card base and then a strip of black cardstock that I'm going to put on the right hand side of my card. And I'm just adhering that into place with a little bit of adhesive with my ATG gun. And then again putting some adhesive on the back of our distress inked piece. And then I'm placing the side with the ink towards the black cardstock. So before I adhere down my teacup, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. This comes from the Alleyway Stamps. And I'm stamping that again with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink just so that it matches the ink from my teacup or coffee cup. So I kind of place my teacup where I want it to go on my card, and that way I can stamp the sentiment that says, "I can't thank you enough." And then I'll go ahead and adhere my teacup into place with some 3D foam squares. And that's just going to go right above my sentiment. And then I thought I would add a few more embellishments. I'm using some enamel dots from My Mind's Eye. I have a light teal color and then a mint green color. And I'm just kind of randomly scattering these about. And what I like to do is I just kind of place them on my card. I don't push them down right away. And that way I can make sure that they're exactly where I want them to go, because otherwise these are actually kind of hard to pick up. Sometimes they rip your paper if you try to pick them up after you have pushed them down. Alright, so as you can see, it takes me a little bit to get them situated how I want them to go. And then I'm going to cover the entire teacup with some glossy accents. That way it just looks super shiny and kind of like a real coffee cup or teacup. And then of course you're going to want to let that dry completely before you send it or give it to anybody. I usually just let it dry overnight. So hopefully you enjoyed my bright, springy coffee card. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you back here next time. Bye!